All right. So now that people are looking at applying to schools for either a master's program or a PhD program, remember, if you are looking for research assistantship or graduate assistantship, and you want to contact professors to help you to be able to get assistantship or the research fellowship and all that, you will need to have your transcript and then also have your CV, right, the curriculum vitae. So one of the issues that I've seen over and over again is that the transcript, there's nothing you can do about it. It is what it is, right? But the CV, it's usually not that great. Okay. Um, Now, before even we go into that, I'm not a career expert. I'm not an expert at preparing CVs or anything. So first, I would advise you to go talk to the career services of your university or find somebody whose expertise is in career services in terms of helping you prepare CVs and all that. They will be able to provide better advice and guidance on how to prepare the CVs, okay? Now, this is just coming from me, and I'm not an expert at any of these things, just trying to give out something that I look out for when I'm looking at some of these CVs, okay? And I know a lot of my colleagues also look at that in terms of how can I assess if this person can do the research that I'm trying to get the person to do, okay? So in essence, it's like, it's important. It's a very important document that you really have to add to your transcript, okay? So for one, if a student sends me an email, I first look at their transcript, okay? And then if I'm impressed, I go to the CV, all right? And it's important. It's something that you can use to convince profs to give you funding or to get into some of these awards and scholarships that you're looking out for. All right, so remember, the focus here is for people who are applying to professors to get funding, all right, for their graduate studies. And I'm talking about a master's or a PhD or a postdoc and all those kind of things, all right? And it's specifically when you see some of the CVs, it's quite not there yet. So this is just a general overview, okay? So I'm going to share my screen. I don't edit any of these videos, and I'm going to put it up on a new YouTube channel called the International Student. So for those who are interested, you can look at some of the videos I have over there and then watch them. That is if you're interested, okay? It's okay, so what is the CV, all right? So we talk about it as what? A comprehensive statement of your educational background. So look at this one, your educational background, very important. And then teaching and research. Now, I will switch this around for a student. So if you are applying for graduate studies, all right, I would prefer to see your research first before your teaching, all right? So we'll talk about that in detail. So it's more of your educational background, your research experience, and then, you know, teaching and volunteer work and all those other things. It's important, right? Now, it is the standard representation of credentials within academia. That is the main thing. Okay, so within academia, it's really the standard, all right? Let me see if I'll be able to go back on this. And then I have something here that I have to check on my, yeah, so I have it here, okay. All right, so the main thing is that you are trying to let people know the research experiences you've had and the fact that you will be able to do the research if they pick you up. That's the main thing, right? Now remember, it's a marketing tool. Again, you are not the only one applying to the prof. So many people send emails to the prof, okay? And if you are able to bring out your skills very well and it matches the research that the prof is actually doing, you stand a better chance of getting an interview from the prof, okay? So it's a marketing document. Don't play with it at all. It's very, very important. It's not like you are trying to, you know, it says, oh, I have a first class, so that's it. No way. And it also shows how you are able to communicate. So when I'm evaluating your communication skills, the CV is one of the best documents to actually evaluate your communication skills, beside the research statement and other things that you might add, right? Okay, so you have to have an up-to-date portfolio of your skills, all right, and experience, okay, which are relevant to the particular post. Now, look at this one here, which are relevant to the particular post. I'm doing a research in material science and engineering. If you send me your CV and it outlines stuff in, let's say, aerospace, or let's say marketing, it has no bearing to the research that I'm doing. So just by looking at your CV, we don't match. all right, you're out. So your main focus is to really make sure that you are creating an up-to-date portfolio of your skills, which are relevant. Okay, this is really the key word here, to the particular post you're applying to. So people who just prepare one CV and they keep on sending the same CV to every prof, it's really not a good idea, right? It depends. If they are all in the same field, then that's fine. But if you are sending it to some different profs, and then, for example, if I'm doing material science, somebody sends me a CV and the person is talking about the fact that they want to do some research on aerodynamics, okay, which is related to aircraft, aircraft, right? So design and all that, understanding the flow of fluids or air around the aircraft, which is a marvelous field, but it has no bearing to the research that I'm doing. So make sure that you are coming up with the skills that are relevant to the particular post. If you don't have the skills, you don't have it. What else can you do, right? But if you have it, you should make sure that you are selling it out and bringing it out in the skills section. It's important. Okay, so make sure it's informative but concise, right? Just go straight to the point. You don't have to be talking a whole bunch of things that's not relevant to what we are doing. Okay, and I'll give you some more examples on this. Now, typically, this is how I expect your CV to really look like. Okay, just looking at the I just want to push this thing away from here. It's distracting me. Okay, so personal information, first thing, and then education. Okay, we'll talk about some examples. Your experiences. Now, in this case, I mean research experiences. All right, research experiences, not the fact that you worked in data bank or you worked in some nice Bank of America. That's important if it is related to the research or the particular post you're applying to. But if it is not, you might want to really tone down on that and rather bring out the skills that are related to the post you're applying to. Okay. Now, awards, very important if you have some awards. And you are going to be, look, if a prof is picking you as a student to help with the research, okay, you are helping the prof is also helping you, right? We all help each other. Now, really, what the prof wants is somebody who is smart enough to do the research and then can actually publish journal papers and go to conferences and present the results that they are working on. So if you already have some experience in journal publications, conference publications, here is the place where you need to highlight that. It's related to the research. I want, if assuming I have two candidates, they all have the same, GPA or similar GPA, and their skill set are almost the same, but I have one who has at least one journal paper and the other doesn't have anything. Now, if that journal paper is even slightly not related to my work, at least I know that this person has some experience in journal publications. I will lean more towards that person because this is really what I want my students to be able to do. After doing the awesome work in the lab, I want you to be able to go and publish the papers or the awesome findings out for the scientific community to see what you've done. Whether you are in political science, you are in business, you are in human resources, you are in whatever field, it's the same thing. Once you are doing the research, you need to communicate your results and findings with the community, all right? And that is through publications and presentations. So if you have such publication experiences, you have to really bring it out in the CV, okay? It's a very good way of selling yourself. Now, again, the fact that you are doing all of this doesn't mean that you're going to get a prof to actually pick you up. Okay, let me put that out there, right? It's just a way of trying to make sure that you've really done your homework well. And so if you get it, great. If you don't, you move on. All right, that's how it works, right? Now, services and leadership, yeah, can come. And then professional membership and references, okay? So typically make sure that you are not going to be telling me about some people just right after, I'll show you some examples, right after their profile, they go straight into work experience, okay? And then they begin to list work experiences that have no bearing to the particular post they are applying to. And I've been seeing lots and lots of that, okay? You undersell yourself if you really do that, okay? So that is what I want to bring out to you. Now, let's look at a typical example here that I have on my So I'm going to use my own CV as an example, okay? Just using my own CV as an example. All these things you can find online on the university website. So I put up my name. So this is the first page, okay? This is where you have your personal information, all right? Now, so that's my name. These are my whatever. And then that's my position, the department I'm working in, the university I'm working in, the address, the phone number, and then my email, okay? Very, very important. Now, this is kind of for all the people. I'm talking about those from Ghana who have been sending emails with their religion, their nationality, their sex, and everything on the personal page. It's a no-no, okay? Nobody cares about the religion. Nobody cares about the sex. Nobody cares about your nationality, all right? We are looking at who you are, not where you come from and all those kind of things. So don't dedicate your personal information to my religion. I've seen a lot. I can actually put that up, but it's, you know, just for privacy sake, I'm not going to show anybody some stuff. But even now, even yesterday, I received one where the person has religion on it, he has sex on it, nationality, even their date of birth on their CV. Okay, please don't do that. All right, maybe talk to your career services at your university. It will be better be able to help you make edits to some of the drafts you have. But why would you want to put your date of birth, your nationality, your sex, and everything on your CV? We don't care about that. All right, the personal information is more of like what? If you are in the university, the name of the university, your address, your phone number, your email. In fact, those are the main things that we want to see on the personal information side. Okay, so if you look at this, I have my name, the university I'm working at, and then I have my phone number and my email. Now, all of these things can be found online, so it's not personal. You can go to the university website, you'll find that. All right. Now, the next step, which is the summary of qualifications, is what I also find very difficult looking at some of the things I get from, Ghana, right? So if you look at a lot of the emails, the CVs that come, summary of qualifications, they are talking about, I'm hardworking, my goal is to go and is to become one of the best engineers. It's good, but that's not really what we are looking at. We are talking about a general summary of your qualifications, your experiences. So if somebody says in 5 points, or in 4 points, who are you? And I'm not talking of, I was born in Ghana, I come from here. No. I'm talking about stuff like, what really defines your skill set? What really defines your skill set? What defines your experiences? And I'm talking about experiences and skill set related to the particular post you are applying to. Okay, so if you're applying to, I'm doing material science research. If you're applying to me, then you can't tell me that, oh, I have extensive experience in data analysis. I have extensive experience in blah, blah, blah. All those skills are good, but make sure it's relevant to the post you're applying to. Okay, so let me share one. I got a permission of this person to share their assignment of qualifications. All right, so look at this one here. The person is an optometrist applying for grad school. All right, and then they are talking about summary of qualifications. Look at their summary of qualifications. Experience in the use of quantitative and qualitative research methods and statistical techniques such as regression and chi-square in gathering and analyzing useful data for research, decision, and policy making. This is who that person is. This is what defines that person. All right. So when we are talking about after your name, your address, your phone number, your email, make sure that you have this summary of qualifications there. And I'm not talking about, it's good. You can add, if you're not hardworking, how did you get a first class? Okay, we know that already. Tell me something different. Tell me something that will convince me that, yes, you have the skill set for the particular post you are applying to. Don't tell me that. I had one that the person was saying, I'm very trustworthy. And if the position you're applying to requires people who are trustworthy, go ahead and add it. All right. But really, that is not a skill set. All right. Nobody is interested in you have to go straight to skill set that defines what you as an individual. That will actually help you to align yourself to the particular post you are applying to. So if I'm doing research in macular degeneration in optometry, you should be aligning the skills
set and experiences that you've had in your life, that actually puts you on top of what? The position that you are applying to. So you align it in such a way that when I look at the position you are applying to and I look at the skill set, it's a direct match. Okay. And so again, for people who think that you can prepare one CV and use it to apply to all the jobs, you're wasting time. At least you should make some edits to your CV to reflect your skill set that aligns with the particular post that you are applying to. Okay. So with this one here, this person was applying to a post about research methods. Okay, so she was looking for postgraduate studies in research methods. And the professor she applied to actually had what this skill. In fact, the research was related to this skill set, and she already had it. She has so many years of work experience, and she can actually draw these things out and say, look, these are my main skill sets. All right, these are my main skill set. Okay, so please make sure that you are aligning the research experiences to the particular post you are applying to, right? So in this case, all these skill sets that the person is defining here actually is aligned with what? The post, and also defines who she is. Okay, so right after you finish with the part where you talk about your personal in terms of your name and all that, summary of qualifications is not I'm hardworking, I'm a go-getter, I want to be, one of them said, I want to be employed in one of the top companies. That is really not a qualification. You know, you are summarizing what? Your skill set, your experiences that aligns with the research that you're applying to or the particular post you're applying to. So bring that out, go. And people think they don't have it. It's really, we'll talk about that. People think they don't have those skill sets, but I believe that anybody who attended any of these universities that are in Ghana, in Nigeria, they all really have these skill sets. They just don't know that these skill sets really was what was needed to be able to do A, B, and C. And I'll point some of these things out, all right? So make sure you have what? And, you know, organize the CV. Let it look nice. Second thing, to make sure that you don't send your CV or any document to any prof or anybody as a Word document. It should minimum, it should be a PDF. Okay. So I've seen people send me, they send me their transcript and it's Word document. They send me their CV, it's Word document. Really, it has to be a PDF. Okay. So have it in a PDF before you send to anyone. All right. Now, from this, in terms of your personal information and then your summary of qualifications, you go to your education, right? So you can see I've aligned mine here. So I attended KNUST and then I did aerospace. The title of my thesis is right there. The professor who supervised the thesis is right there. I did the same thing for my master's. So where is the university located? Which year did you finish? All right. What department or what was the title? Thesis title, who was the supervisor? Like that. We have to see it. And the reason why this is important is that, so maybe you are not here, so you might not have that link. But sometimes somebody even knows your supervisor. And that is really some way that strikes some form of communication. You know what I mean? So it's important that you have these things on there. Don't just list, I have my BSc and that's it. And the BSc University of this and they give a date, you know. Talk about what the program. So mine was aerospace engineering. The thesis or the capstone that I did was that this was the prof who supervised that capstone. All right. So you should have that as the next step. All right. Now, when you move on to the next one, okay, you can see how I've actually broken them down. Look at the employment, for example. Now, if you're a student or if you're applying for research assistantship, I will really say that push this employment somewhere and then convert it to what? Let me show you this slide. Convert it to, okay, just a sec. So convert it to what? Research and project experience. Okay? Very, very important to have that because you talked about your summary of qualifications. You talked about what? Your education. All right? Now, really employment, it's research. So show me, go straight to the point, right? Concise, straight to the point. Concise, straight to the point. So instead of going to talk about your work experiences, tell me about some of the research and project experiences that you've had. Because if I'm picking you as my student, I want to really know that you have some research experience, and then you can help me, and then you can solve the problem that we are going to solve. Not that I want to see where you've worked at. No, that's great when you're looking for jobs outside, or maybe when you're looking for some things. But this one is for research. So I'm tailoring the CV to the research requirements. If I was going to look for a job, maybe I'll put it in a different way, all right? But for the purposes of looking for these things, you want the prof to know that you have some experience in research, especially if that research or that project you worked on aligns with the research that the prof is doing, or with the particular post that the prof is talking about. You need to go straight to the point and list it out like that, okay? And so if I'm doing stuff like material science and engineering, now please pay attention to this one here. I'm doing stuff in materials in terms of my research. Maybe I'm looking for a student to help me create advanced materials, all right? And these first class students from KNUST thinks that they don't have experience in research. Why? Because they've not been employed as a research assistant before. But I was at KNUST. I remember when we did our attachment, or what they call the attachment in Ghana, right? Or the long vacations, you go to industries and you work with industries, and then you gain some industrial experience, all right? When I went to, so in our case, we went to Ghana Air Force. Ghana Air Force, we were doing some welding of coal pot and all this kind of thing. At that time, we thought that, aerospace engineering, what does it got to do with what? Welding of coal pot and all that. But look, if I'm applying to a prof who is doing material science, I can actually pick up this experience that I have experience in welding of metals. Why? The prof is doing a research that is related to material science. And any material scientists know that we have extensive techniques in welding, and there's a lot of material science involved in welding. And so even though I did welding, I thought that was just something, I didn't do anything useful. It is really useful that I can actually convert to a research experience. Why? Because the prof is doing a project related to materials, and I have experience in welding. When I went for my attachment, we were given all these equipment, we were giving the materials to weld, and we learned about welding from there. So if I'm applying to a prof who's doing material science, why can't I bring this experience out for them to know that I have some experience in welding? Okay, you did electrical engineering at KNUST. You went to Akosombo to do attachment. Okay, when you went there, what did you do? What projects did you work on for those periods? Those things have to come out. So I can actually list all the experiences that I've had with all different attachments and break that one out as research experience. Why? If it is related to the post I'm applying to, why not? If I'm applying to electrical engineering, or let's say I'm applying to the human resource department, and I want the prof to know that I have extensive experience in human resource work, or that kind of thing. What do you think I'm going to bring out? If I worked as a human resource personnel for a company, I'm going to bring out the extensive skill set that I gained over there. And it is sad, because if you see some of the things that people write about themselves, it's like, I helped prepare the research lab. Really? And I know they didn't do that. They did more than that, but they think that, oh, that is really not research. No, I'm looking for people with skill sets that will help us to solve the problems we are solving in my group. And so whatever thing that you think you have experienced that it's really relevant to that post you're applying to, or to the research interest of that prof, bring it out. Bring it out. Okay. Same way, I've had instances where people kind of apply to universities and they say, oh, I've been working all this while, I've not actually done any research work. Really? What were you working on? If you were employed by, let's say, an electrical engineering company, and you're applying for a master's program in electrical engineering, what were you doing as an employee of the company? All that people have, I know a lot of friends in Ghana who are working on extensive projects that they think is because it's not given the title research, it doesn't qualify for a research position, or it doesn't qualify as a research experience. But a lot of the things that they are doing, you need that skill set to be able to solve the problem in the research lab of the prof that you're applying to. So you need to bring some of the projects you worked on out. Even though it was labeled as a project and not a research, you got some findings, you gained some skill set, bring that out if it is relevant to that particular post you're applying. Okay, so that is how you prepare some of these things. If you really think that, if let me give you an example, somebody has a first class or a second class upper honors, right? And then they are applying to my research group, not knowing they've worked with a materials company in Ghana for a long time, for like 10 years. And the exact projects that they've been working on for these 10 years is exactly what I'm trying to advance in my research lab. Who do you think I'll pick? I'll pick that person, because that person, if is able to convert that wealth of experience and knowledge into research fields, or into like the research that is relevant to the post that the person is applying to, why not? Okay, so all the individual projects, I'm not saying that for 10 years you have to list all of them, no, but the specific ones that are relevant to the post you're applying to, spend some time on them, bring it out. Let the prof know that you have this type of experience. And it's important, it's very relevant to the work that you're going to be doing. Okay, so don't just sit there and say, oh, I've been working, I don't have any research experience. And some people, okay, this is the biggest problem I have. Even if you go to their work experience or employment history, and let's say they were an engineer for a construction firm, this is a civil engineer. If you look at the things that they've written about themselves, I sit down and I'm like, why can't you just go online and find some of the technical words? You did exactly what a civil engineer would do. And the things you've written really does not sell out to anybody that you're a civil engineer. And I know that you really did the work like a civil engineer did. You know what I mean? So why are people not able to convert some of those experiences into technical ways, or bring out the concise description of the work they did that is relevant to the profession that they are in? You understand? I was a TA at KUST. Now, TA at KUST, people think that, oh, for TAs, all they do is marking. When I was a TA, we were given materials to prepare. We were given opportunities to go to classroom and teach students about, and help them to solve questions and all these kind of things. What is that? That is a teaching experience that I have right there. I'm not just going to say I was a teaching assistant at KUST and that's it. No way. When I was a teaching assistant, I was marking. I was, in terms of I was doing the grading, we were going to classes to teach students. Students were coming to us for us to help them and all that. You need to find a way of crafting these things into technical experiences that will define you and the post that you were in. People are not able to do that. Okay, and there's a lot of these examples online. It's all over the internet. You can find them if you are really looking. And if you really cannot do that, it means you're not good at communication. And that you will go to my lab, do the research work, yet you will not be able to communicate to other people what you did in the research work. That is what you are telling me by doing that, doing what you are doing. You know what I mean? So if the person did an awesome work, but is not able to communicate to people how awesome the work the person did was, then you're not a good communicator, right? So that is one of the places that we have to pay particular attention to. Okay. So let me go back to this file here. So if you look at this, after the summary of qualifications and then the education, they go straight to the professional experience. So here I'll say for a student, make it what? Research and project experiences, and talk about the specific things that you did. Now, again, look at this one. You have to talk about what? You have to name the title of your position. Okay. If it was attachment, it's what we call the internship. So internship, that's it. Give the date, and then talk about what? The name of the company, the location of the company, all right? And now, these are the things I'm talking about here. Listing things that are relevant to that post, things that really define what you did. If you don't know how to, go online and check. That's how you'll be able to find the specific things that you are. For example, somebody who is actually, when I was a TA, I remember we had a project with a prof, and the prof gave us a whole bunch of data to analyze, right? We did analyze the data, we plotted graphs, and then we wrote a technical report on that. That's exactly what we are doing in the research labs, You do your experiment, you get data out, you analyze it, you write a report about it, you discuss the results with people and all that. That is a research experience you have right there. If it is related to the field you are applying to, go for it. Okay, so you can see how this person has actually outlined a lot of these things here in terms of what they did. all right, before they moved on to what? Some other clinical externship and all that. So if you look at this one, for example, optometry clinical externship, or what we call the internship, the person listed the company, the date they did, the location and all that. And then they listed exactly what they, now look at the way they describe the thing. Collected data using random sampling technique from what pregnant women with a questionnaire, assessing the awareness, attitudes and practice about diabetes and common eye diseases, educational attainment, socioeconomic status, and what? Medical history. This is exactly what the prof that she's applying to is actually doing. And this is a skill set that she actually gained from working as an intern for this hospital. And so it comes out right out that, okay, this is really a nice experience, okay? And the prof actually knows that if they hire this person, the person actually have experience with what? Questionnaires already. They know how to what? Apply research methods and then statistical analysis to some of these things and get data out. So why not? Okay, so please, I'm really interested in this. I want people to not undersell themselves and pay particular attention to the skill set that they gain that they think is not useful, but is very useful for the research. Okay, now after that, you go to list of publications. All right, now if you are doing, if you're applying for research assistantship, okay, I'll say switch the order around. So in this case, we'll go for what? We'll go for the personal information, all right? So personal information. And then we'll go for summary of qualifications, all right? Yeah, forgive my writing, but what can I do? Okay. And then you go for what? Education. After education, what do you go for? Research. Research. And never use this sign on CV, okay? I've seen that a lot. So research and what? Project experiences. I'm sorry about this. Experiences, okay? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now number 5, I'll say go for publications. If you have any of them, publications, okay? Before you can go to number 6 and talk about employment history and all the other things that you want to talk about. Why? For me, the most important thing is the education, summary of qualifications, education, research, and publication. That's what I need from these students. I want this person to be able to publish journals if they have the right skill set and they match the position that I'm advertising. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the personal information, education, research, and what research and project experiences. Yeah, if you have awards, you can list that before the publications, or you can switch it around whatever way it works. Okay, and then you can go to services and leadership, professional membership, and then some references. Now, one thing that I also advise that when you're applying to profs, okay, it would be very nice to put your references right there. No need to waste anybody's time. Okay, if you are, don't tell me that I should is available upon request. Okay, because this is research. Why not? Okay, you can choose to do that, but again, I would say add the references. So if you can see this person, the references, they listed the profs or their contact details and how they can get them and all that is right there. I just don't want to show it. Okay, so these are the references. Right? Add it, and that's it. Right? And if you have a very concise, some people think that, oh, CV should be 2 pages. Why? This is not resume, it's CV. You need to talk about what? Your skill set relevant to the position that you're applying to. And the position you're applying to, if you're going to do political science, I have a friend who just finished his PhD in what? Political science. It's the same thing. He did the research in the master's level, in the PhD level. It's research. That's how Canadians, we do a lot of research. That's how the US is also, they also do a lot of research. And so when you're applying to professors in the US, professors in Canada, and you want them to pick you as what? A research assistant in their labs or on particular project, this is how you have to sell yourself. Give out what? The research experience is relevant to that particular post you're applying to. If you don't have it, you don't have it. What else can you do? But if you have it, bring it out. And sometimes I'm saying that you would think you don't have it, but please check your internships that you did. Check the national service that you did. Check all the places that you've worked at, the projects you've worked on. Some of them are direct links to the research that these profs are doing. And so you should be able to bring those things out. Okay, bring them out, and then make sure that you are really doing a good job with these things. So I just didn't want to go into the details of mine because I talk about the employment history, I talk about the awards, then I go straight to the journal publications, I talk about the publications and blah, 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 and all those kind of things, right? So it's important that you spend some time to bring out some of the publications you have, spend some time to let people know that the skills you have is relevant to the research. Don't undersell yourself, okay? Don't, because people will be talking like, oh, I have, I did internship at, how do you call it? They call it what in Ghana? At Snake Bank, and that's it. Really, what did you do as an intern? What specifically did you do? Okay, what specific thing did you do as an intern for, let's say, Snake Bank or whatever bank they have in Ghana? That should come out, and it should be relevant to the post you are applying to, else you are not a direct match for the job. Okay, so please make sure that you spend some time on these things, and then you work on the CV, make it look good, and never send the CV as what, a Word document. Never send the CV as Excel or anything. It has to be PDF. Okay, and make sure that at least you have these things there, and you switch this around now. So this personal includes what? Summary of qualifications. Summary of qualifications. Okay, and then under the experiences, you can also, it's more of like what? Research and project experiences relevant to the post you're applying to. Okay, then you can talk about awards, publications, services and leadership, professional membership, preferences, and all that. Okay, and again, if you have a lot of employment history, maybe you can bring the employment history here, but I want you to, rather, instead of just stating employment history, I want you to kind of bring out the research component, the project component that you worked on that are relevant to the post you're applying to. It's important to do that. Okay, so that is really what I wanted to talk about with these things. So write an effective CV, all right, and cover letters. Now, if you're applying to profs, maybe you can add a cover letter, but I don't really recommend it. Let's go straight to the CV, talk about all the things that we talked about, right? And write an interesting research topic. If it requires you to write a research topic, some other day I'll talk about research topics as well, right? And then make sure you're writing an email which will give you the needed attention. And I'll talk about this sometime in terms of don't write too much and don't write too little. Go straight to the point, relevant things related to the particular post you're applying to. Don't come and tell us a whole bunch of things about, relevant things related to the post you're applying to, or related to the research experience of that prof or the research interest of that prof. Okay. Again, I cannot overemphasize this. Be concise and straight to the point, but it doesn't mean that you should undersell yourself. Okay. And then if it is scholarship requirement, you should also work that one out. Okay. All right. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with us. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. You can send me an email. All right. Now, again, I don't consult, I don't do anything for anybody. It's just free thing I'm giving out. It's free knowledge. All right. So if anybody comes to you that they want to take money from you, I don't take money from anybody. This is something I want to share with people so that they can better get there. Because if I look at their transcript, they are qualified. The only thing that is actually fighting against them is the communication side of things. And consult with your career services. They are always willing to help. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll be bringing up some more videos. So if you want, you can subscribe to the channel. That's something else. If you're interested, I'll bring up some more things. People that are really qualified to get research assistantship and graduate assistantship if they are thinking of going to grad school. That is the main reason why we created this channel, to help you. Okay. All right. Thank you. Take care.